Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Frieren, episode 5. Yeah, episode 5. We are finally done with the initial drop of 4 episodes at once. We are entering the main part of the story, the main part of the show. Kind of feels like that. Because now we have an actual direction, right? Where to go, what to do, step by step, and we have a goal as well. So yeah, it really feels like the adventure is just beginning, essentially. So cool. Let's start with the previous episode, maybe. Quick summary. Although quite a lot has happened in the previous episode, didn't it? First and foremost, we had Frieren and Fern clean up a beach in a some sort of a seaside town, because Frieren wanted to watch the first sunrise of the year there. She was about to watch it with her friends, but decided that it's not worth it, and everybody was, of course, very much disappointed by that, because they wanted to watch that sunrise together, but Frieren would rather sleep. So now she kind of sort of made up for it by watching that sunrise with Fern, and understood a little bit, at least, what was it all about. It wasn't about the sunset itself, after all. It was about who you watch that sunset with. And I just noticed that my Monstera has a yellowing leaf. Shit. Hopefully it's nothing bad, and just a natural leaf shedding. Oh well. Regardless of that. What else happened in that episode? We visited Eisen. Because Eisen said that he has a lead on some notes left by Flamme. And as it turns out, those notes actually were there. We got a little bit of a backstory on Frieren and Flamme, how they used to be the master and student. They had that sort of a relationship way back when, in antique times, essentially, ancient Greece kind of looking aesthetic. So probably a good couple thousand years back. And an entire forest managed to grow there in that time, so couple thousand, couple hundred, like 600-800 years sounds right in the correct ballpark, I would say, unless some magic was involved in the growing of that forest. So we got a backstory on that, and we got ourselves a goal. Or rather, first we got information from Flamme's notes, something that Heiter and Heiter. I know, I can't remember. Pronunciation is different from the spelling, so Heiter. How that Heiter figured out that Flamme might have something about communicating with the dead, and wanted Frieren to make use of it to communicate with Himmel, because they probably have some more things to talk about. I mean, Frieren expressed her grief that she wasn't able to actually understand him. She wasn't able to actually spend enough time with him to learn more about him. So Heiter and Eisen decided that it would be a good idea to give Frieren that chance. As it turns out, that chance might be heaven that exists as an actual physical location in the world. and you can get there, you can reach it by going to the Demon Lord's castle, because it's apparently in the same area called Ende, the end. Creative, isn't it? So now Frieren and Fern have set off to visit the heaven so that Frieren can talk with Himmel. And at the same time, they will be retreading the path that the heroes have taken all those years ago, so we will probably be learning more about their journey. Interestingly, we will be learning about it in... Actually, that's a good question. Will we be learning about it in the reverse order? Because our heroes had to go to the Demon Lord Castle and then back. And Frieren and Fern will be going just one way. So will they follow their footsteps as the heroes were getting closer and closer to the Demon Lord's castle? Or will they be following their footsteps in reverse as they were returning from the Demon Lord's lands? Perhaps both, but I would assume it would be the former. I can't see many adventures to be had after the Big Bad has been defeated. Although, that's not necessarily true either. I mean, Lord of the Rings had a whole quite large chunk of an adventure still after Sauron was defeated, so it's entirely plausible that both will actually be interesting. Apparently, it's a 10-year journey, so that's going to be interesting, especially for Fern. She set off as a 20-something year old, maybe 16, 18, something thereabouts. She's going to come back in her 30s. In her 40s, if we take it as 10 years in one direction, 10 years in the other, right? So, god damn, that's a large chunk of life. Yeah, that's it. That's it about the summary, I think. What do I expect from today's episode? Well, we will go for the adventure. We're gonna set off, and maybe we're gonna meet Stark, the red-headed boy who appears in the opening, in the ending. Not quite sure, but he appears in the opening, and I know that he will be a part of the team. I just don't know when. So probably in today's episode, maybe in the next one. We shall see about it, right? And to see that, we will of course need to watch this episode. So to do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm going to need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm also going to have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel monetarily on Patreon or YouTube, all down below. Or not, share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 5 of Frieren in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, Aureole. That's the name of the heaven. Okay, we get a recap. Sure. So is Hell on the southernmost end of the continent, I wonder? Oh, so the whole journey took them 10 years, so probably 5 years one direction, 5 years in the other. Yeah, I wonder... I mean, I know why, because Frieren wants to retread that path. But I wanted to ask, why can't they just beeline for it? Apparently not. For you. Right. I haven't known you for even 1/100th of my life, is what she said. Yeah. Yeah, but that doesn't make them worthless, does it? I like this thingamajig on his door. Okay, so we essentially get a recap of story so far. Please survive long enough, Aizen. Please actually meet again. Don't you die on us. Yeah, perspective, right? I heard that's also why humans feel the years are passing faster and faster as they age. Because when you're 6 years old, a year is 1/6 of your life. When you're 30, a year is just 1/30th. So the perspective changes a lot, despite the amount of time being the exact same. Right? Like, I remember when 2 months of summer vacation was, Jesus, that's a lot of time. What am I gonna do? We're gonna go to the seaside. I'm gonna meet my friends. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do so many things. We're gonna meet by the bonfire like 50 times in that time span. Right? Nowadays, 2 months is like nothing. I remember I remember summer and it's already fall. Shit, I remember my 18th birthday and I'm nearing 30 right now. Shit, the passage of time, huh? The inevitability of time. I hope they find cure for death of old age. Right? Like, get an injection or two and you just don't age. That'd be amazing. Oh, so I'm gonna be a bad girl. You? Who else? Okay, so I guess Fern also has someone she would like to meet in the Oriole. That wheel is gonna be falling off soon. Another charm made of wheat. Oh? Well, that seems like something that Frieren might be able to solve. Okay, eyewitnesses are probably gonna be useful. What's in the bag, Frieren? Hmm. Yeah, it's rather something like... Uh, there's plenty of different kinds of supernatural creatures that lure in people. Yeah, something like a... What's it called? The flame that appears in the marshes and draws you in so that you drown. Unlike you. She's smiling more these days. I love those wide shots of them just walking. Are there? Oh, I guess, sure, magical signs. Magical clues. Illusion, prob. Exactly. Hmm. Something like a siren? Einsam. I wonder if it's an actual, like, mythological monster. Are we going for the Ancient Magus Bride of actually using existing creatures, or are we just making them up as we go? Okay, easy. Or just shoot the monster. Right. If Hyther appeared before you, would you be able to shoot him? Okay. Okay, well, elaborate on that, please. Yeah, elaborate. I guess she's not going to. Yeah, perfect environment for a ghost to appear. That's useful, being able to summon and unsummon her staff. Shoot. Can you? Right, there's that promise that makes it harder to actually do it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I'm glad that she actually realizes it. Okay, that's cool. No, give her time. Hello, Himmel. Oh, okay, well, that's easy. Actually, that's a little bit of an overkill, isn't it? Yeah, that's that's overkill. You created a whole new pass. You created a whole entire new mountain pass. Fair. Oh, you're not going back to the village, reporting that the passage is safe? I guess not. Oh, we fighting dragons or just passing by? We're fighting it. Of course we are. Dragons like treasure. Getting rid of that dragon is gonna have consequences for the local whatchamacallit. Not economy, not ecology, I guess. Okay, let's bail. Fly. Oh, I thought she's gonna use her staff to fly. Can't you, like, levitate the grimoire out of its nest or something? You're a good girl, Fern. Oh? What, a tank to grab aggro? A tank to grab aggro, exactly. Okay, so that's where we meet Stark. Stark, as he pronounces it. Okay, Aizen's apprentice. If he's Aizen's apprentice, then probably. It's cool that Aizen took on an apprentice. Odd that, as far as we know at least, neither Aizen nor Himmel have taken any apprentice. Well, Aizen, sorry, Heiter. Heiter took Fern, I guess, but Himmel didn't take anybody. I mean, yeah, exactly. I was about to say that's her hobby. Oh, how did he know they're coming? Killed Stark's parents, I would bet. Or maybe not. Hmm. Being able to 1v1 a dragon and keep his ground. He's gonna be useful. Probably. He can draw aggro and you just keep shooting the dragon. Stark lives in a canyon? Or just trains here? I guess it's his training grounds, maybe. How do you know? Hmm. Of course. Hero Frieren. They've kept respectful distance. You didn't need to send them off. Oh. He lacked the DPS necessary. He had enough defense and HP, but he's just a wall. Because it's a grimoire. Duh. Yeah, but we're also talking about a grimoire, aren't we? The danger of a dragon being able to get a grimoire? Well, we know which one's more enticing and more powerful of a drive. Yeah. Well, that's why we're here. That would seem easy. Maybe Frieren can buff you. Okay, so he's just been training, I guess, without actually, like, fighting monsters. But then you became a hero. Okay. Okay, so hero by accident. Interesting. Just stand still, kid. Just stand still. I love this look in her eyes. Buff him. Could we use this to our advantage? Lure the dragon in so that he can't get inside, and we just keep throwing pot shots at him from a safe place. Does he legit just live there? That's a nice looking steak. How is it? Medium well? Medium? Well done? I guess they're not gonna show that. Magic? Stark training in the quarry. Smashing some rocks. Yeah, probably Stark smashing some rocks. A survivor. That's not axe cutting, that's magic. Oh. Okay, so this entire ravine was just made by him. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. That's some powerful attacks. Oh, sure. I really thought it's just like halfway through the episode, but apparently not. Shit. Right, I didn't notice, but we actually get some subtitles. Hmm. I already liked the ending song, but now after reading the lyrics, I like it even more. That's a legit good song. That's a legit good song. So, how about we watch this whole episode again, shall we? As always, yes, we shall. Of course, you don't have a choice in the matter. uh, this is just a recap. Yeah, asking about an apprentice. That 100 changed you. Yeah, it did. It really seems like she's much different of a person. And that's the perspective, right? Sure, it might not have been even 100 of Frieren's life, but it's half of Fern's. OP, 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 OP. Who's this gremlin, I wonder? You must listen carefully to what Frieren tells you and be a good girl, or else I'll haunt you. So if I'm a bad girl, then you will visit me, right? I mean, that would be the correct logic. So, of course, the better way to go about it is that if you're good, then we will eventually meet again. I'm going to heaven because I'm a priest, so you be a good girl, so we also go to heaven and we can meet. 28 years. What are those thingamajigs on the doors? In Poland, we have a holy day that's called. Will I be able to find a translation? I wonder. Zielone Świątki, it's called in Polish, and it's a green week, apparently, is how it's translated, and it's technically it's the holiday of the Holy Ghost coming down to Earth or what have you. But it's actually like a pagan tradition, pagan holiday that was forcefully Christianized into the whole like Holy Spirit thing. Nobody calls it that though. Everybody just calls it Green Week, Zielone Świątki. And right, and during that you get bouquets of various herbs, whatever is growing in your garden, whatever is growing on the meadows nearby. You grab those herbs, you create either a wreath or a bouquet out of them, and you hang that on your fence near the entrance, or on your door, or on the fence gate, or somewhere near the entrance. That's the tradition. So I wonder if that's it, because it's kind of similar. It's also similar, but only because it's wheat. Only because it's wheat. It's kind of similar to dożynki, which is the harvest holiday. Is there any translation to English? Slavic Harvest Festival, right. Yeah, you make wreaths. I mean, they are called wreaths, but in actuality, they are those like big ass fucking structures with wooden scaffolding and all that have that are decorated with flowers, with all sorts of grain, not just with wheat, but also other kinds. I don't know English names for them, but all other kinds of grain. Sometimes there's a bread right in the middle, and they're like those big, huge, elaborate things. Can I find some examples on Google Images? I mean, I certainly can. Let me show you. There we go. Images, right? Like one image is worth more than 1,000 words and whatnot. Like there are those big ass things made of all sorts of grain, and there's usually a contest in a gmina. I think it's on different levels, the contests, on different levels. In a gmina, every city, every town, every village makes one wreath like that, and there's a contest. And in every voivodeship, every gmina makes or takes the one who won the contest, and there's a contest of those. And as you can see, there's flowers, there's bread right down the middle, and they can go incredibly elaborate. Of course, there is that, Christian theme to it, right? Crosses and whatnot. It's big. They're big. Crosses and whatnot, but in essence, it's a fucking pagan holiday. Religion in Poland is incredibly weird like that. Some people even call it dwuwiara, which translates roughly to double faith, meaning that, okay, sure, there's that Christian things, and every Sunday we go to the church, and everybody was christened, and everybody had their communion, etc., etc. Sure, but hey, Green Week is here, so we better hang some herbs on on the gate to our property. Or hey, the winter is over, so we better create a Marzanna doll, and we burn it and we set it on the water to chase off the winter, right? It's Christian, but there is also a metric fuck ton of pagan beliefs still alive, and people have absolutely no problem with it. That's like the super weird thing. You've come to expect Poland to be this ultra-Christian country, and it kinda is. But at the same time, there are some pagan traditions that just nobody bats an eye at. And you have those old ladies who are devout Christians and will beat you up with their purse if you have a fucking pentagram hanging on your neck, right? But they will gather those herbs and they will hang them on their door because it's Green Week. That was a whole fucking tirade apropos of nothing. Let's continue with Frieren. How about that? People missing because they're chasing ghosts of their dead ones. And yeah, not an undead, some other nasty creature. Unlike you, I'm a good girl. I love those vistas of them just traveling through the forests. I talked about it in a previous episode. I really sometimes have the urge to just go walking. I already have an entire route planned going through not all of them, but like 5 or 6 national parks of, untouched forests and whatnot on the way to the seaside. And Google Maps tells me 17 days of no, sorry, not 17. 17 in both ways, but like I think 7 or 8 days of constant walking to go there. So assuming breaks, that would probably be like 2 weeks in one direction and 2 weeks back on foot. And it's probably not possible to achieve. But I have that urge sometimes, I was raised near a forest, near a meadow, and there wasn't a stream, there wasn't any water there, alas, unfortunately. But running through the forest, between the trees, down the hills and up the hills, it's just my childhood memory. We have a nice, not too tall mountain nearby also that has vistas like that, with streams, with fallen trees, with rocks. I was there once, and I really would like to return. I don't know why, but something really draws me into places like that. Illusion magic, of course. Einsam. How do they pronounce it? Einsame. Is it an actual thing? I wonder. Einsame. It's a direct translation from German to Polish. Eins means 1. I mean, yeah, I know that. Ein plus sam. Strong nominative masculine singular, einsamer. Lonely. Okay, sure. So the einsam is basically the lonely one, which is why it draws in people because it doesn't want to be lonely, or it draws in the lonely people who want to meet their loved ones who are dead. Why is it so hot here? There are illusions of people very dear to them. Yeah, of course it works. They're easily dispersed by high-density mana, such as offensive magic. After all, I know they are fake. Yeah, you might know that. Intellectually. But emotionally, it's not that easy. I shot a phantom of my master begging for her life. I was used to hearing her beg for her life. Yeah, why? What does it mean? What does it mean, Frieren? Probably during training. Probably a situation where Frieren outgrew her, where the student outgrew the teacher and they were sparring and Flamme was begging for her life, or I don't know. Or maybe something much more dark, and Fern witnessed Flamma's death, or Frieren maybe even had to kill Flamme. Actually, fuck it, might as well note it down. Flamme got possessed by an evil spirit, and Fern had to kill her. Something. Here it is. I really don't have much written on Frieren. Frieren had to kill Flamme. Probably something like that, because it's German, right? Every single name in this show, in this story is German. So Flamme, maybe. If it's a phantom, don't hesitate to shoot it. There it is. I'm glad that Fern actually understands it conceptually. There it is, a phantom of the dead. It's using my memories against me. How cruel, one of my most cherished memories. She understands it. I like it. She doesn't just suddenly become a helpless little girl who just forgot what Frieren told her, who just forgot all her training, forgot everything, and is suddenly easily swayed by a phantom. That's a very common trope, that a character gets swayed anyway, despite knowing that it's just a phantom. Not in case of Fern. She understands it. Intellectually, conceptually, but still, the emotions on her face show that she won't be able to shoot anyway. Frieren has an easy job. Frieren shoot me. Yeah, that is what Himmel would say. Absolutely. I feel like this blast is a bit of an overkill. I guess that would be an understatement. That it's a bit of an overkill. It's like, Jesus. I was expecting, a laser thin beam or a bowl of magic or something. I didn't expect a fucking ion cannon. And Fern has her own ion cannon. Now the mountain pass is safe again. Now there's a new mountain pass. Let's go see the real Heiter. Indeed. I guess that also gives you strength to withstand phantoms like that, because you know that you are headed to meet the real one, kinda. A dragon has a grimoire, plenty of magic weapons, I assume, because the dragon builds their nest out of magic things. So I would assume that all of those weapons here are also magical somehow, enchanted. Magical crystals, etc., etc. Bones of magical creatures, I would assume. And there's the grimoire. Solar dragon, let's kill it. Not gonna be easy. I love how completely, emotionless it is. Miss Frieren, that didn't do anything. Just stating it matter-of-factly. I really enjoy Fern as a character. How just, whatchamacallit, poker facey and unmoved she is. Not entirely unmoved, she gets scared, but yeah, she's very, very calm like that. I really was hoping that she's going to fly using her staff. I was really hoping they're going for an actual, witch kind of a thing, but no, apparently not. If we repeat that process enough times, we'll beat it eventually, of course. Of course, Frieren's go-to method is just keep dealing chip damage. Eventually it's just gonna succumb. Maybe it's gonna be a year, maybe it's gonna be 100 years. Doesn't really matter to me. It matters to Fern, of course. Mages don't play tag with dragons. We're gonna need a frontliner. Stark. What kind of magic does that grimoire contain? A spell that lets you see through clothes. Artists must have had a field day with it. I fully expect artists to really have a field day with it. Frieren just casting that spell and glancing at Fern, or maybe at her companions and whatnot. 100%. 100%. It's practical, sure. It can reveal hidden weapons, absolutely. Weapon isn't clothing, after all, so if you see through the clothing, you might be able to see a dagger hidden somewhere on the body. Interesting is also that, depending on what you consider clothes, it can reveal hidden weapons. That tells me intent matters a lot for magic. Magic in this world is, in general, very, like, fluid, right? You don't have a very hard magic system where you have certain schools of magic and just those schools of magic. You have fire, water, wind, and stone, and maybe light and dark, but they are forbidden because, of course, they are. And you have a fireball, or zwei fireball, or stuff like that. That's neatly categorized, put into tables and a wiki and whatnot. But rather, magic can be anything. An amorphous shot of attack magic. It's not a stream of fire, it's not a stream of water, it's not an electric beam, it's just attack magic. Generic attack magic. This tells me that intent matters a lot. Because depending on what you consider close, question, she has the spell that makes grapes sour. Does it also depend on what you consider grapes? Can you take a handful of raisins and turn them sour? Because raisins are just dried out grapes? Does it work on wine because wine was made of grapes? What is exactly considered a grape, right? I like it. I like how fluid the magic is here and how spells can just be anything. There can be a spell that allows you to turn wood into stone, but only on Fridays. Maybe. It really doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility in this world. Stark would like to see you. Dragon attacked the village and he stood his ground in front of that dragon. Yeah, paralyzed by fear. This is cool. This is amazing. I love this ravine. I initially thought that, oh, it's just a ravine, right? It's a cliff face, there's rocks around, it's just a ravine. Maybe the villagers are taking stone, or used to take stone to build their houses from here. It's just a thing, it's just a feature of the landscape. Later it turns out that no, Stark is responsible for it. I love it. I got this scar on my forehead fighting a shadow dragon. Yeah, it's not that serious of an injury. I love how Frieren just immediately saw through him. Stark is trying to play that, hard-ass village hero who got damaged by the dragon fighting it and whatnot, but no. Yeah, complimenting is enough of a reason. I don't mind joining your party. I need the solar dragon dealt with first, sure. If you can keep it busy for 30 seconds. Yeah, seems doable. If he stood his ground. I really thought that him standing his ground was like trading blows with that dragon for a couple of hours until the dragon just got tired and went away. But no. He has 0 experience fighting monsters. Again, I gave him the benefit of doubt. I really thought that he has 0 experience fighting monsters because all this time he's been training by smashing rocks. Maybe. That was the training that Aizen set up for him. You stay here and you smash rocks until you're able to cleave a mountain in half, then you're a worthy fighter. Kind of like Frieren, right? Once you're able to shoot down that rock with your beam, then you're a powerful mage. But no, apparently he has 0 experience facing monsters, and the dragon doesn't even count among that because he didn't really face it. He just stood there and the dragon just gave up. And he just kind of happened into being a hero. I couldn't leave if I wanted to. I mean, you could have found, like, you know, oh, I need to go and train, or oh, I need to go and save other villages, but I guess not. Because the villagers believe that the dragon doesn't attack the village because Stark is here. So he has to either defeat the dragon and then he's free of the village, or he has to stay at the village. Because people believe that he's the dragon deterrent. Okay, that's a situation to find yourself in. Frieren looks at him as a pile of walking garbage. There's probably plenty of art of Frieren having this look on her face. I guarantee it. I guarantee there's an audience for that. This one is no good, let's find someone else. He can find the dragon, yeah. Frieren is probably a good judge, and she knows what this... how this ravine was created. I was initially confused. Why is she touching it? Maybe, or rather, I thought that she's touching it to check, oh, it's not sandstone, it's not gypsum, it's actually like a fairly solid rock, so he can, if he can't just fight the dragon head on, he can at least drag the dragon in here, and we can hole ourselves in the back and keep shooting at the dragon from a safe position. Trap the dragon so that it can't reach them, but they can reach it. I thought that's the plan. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. Probably not. But apparently Frieren was looking at that because she figured out how it was made. Potatoes, beans, carrot slices, and a big-ass steak. I really was hoping that they're gonna show us a cross-cut of it, but apparently not. Yeah. You don't remind of that. You were so meek and cute when you were little. It could be mere whimsy, or perhaps what? Perhaps the dragon recognized something within Stark that Stark himself didn't recognize in himself? Could be. What's that sound? That's Stark fighting. Or training, rather. He was the only one who ran when monsters attacked his hometown, a coward. But being a coward might drive you towards not wanting to be a coward, right? Wanting to make up for your transgression of running away and turning into a person who will always stand their ground. Maybe. Now he's someone who can fight for another. Yeah, like, this goes beyond just axe fighting. This is magic. This is just a magic beam. So this feature was left by your training. Yeah. I wonder if this actually was the training that Aizen left him with. When you cut through this mountain, then you're gonna be a warrior. Kind of like Frieren when you shoot down that rock. Cutting a path through the mountain is Stark's test of being a worthy warrior. Right, because just cutting through that single path, it strikes me as something that would be done on purpose. And that axe is just immaculate. Not even a knock on it, not even a... No, not a knock. Notch. Not even a notch on it. And a preview of the next episode is the night a bit dangerous? That old hag, the passage of time is cruel. Don't cause any trouble in this town. He must have been disappointed in me. That's Stark talking about Eisen, I would guess. We parted in anger. That's Eisen talking about Stark. His hands are trembling. They even tremble the same way as Eisen's. The hero of the village. I'm Stark, the hero of this village. Yeah, sure. Cool episode. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Those headphones really heat up my head and my ears. Oh boy. Okay. I'm free of them. So, cool episode. We finally meet Stark and we finally set off on a journey. And I have a feeling that the journey will just be filled with with helping people and with side quests. We're essentially going to how do I say it? It's kind of like an RPG game where you have your goal for your main quest and you go towards it, but every so often on that road you have someone that gives you a side quest and you go to complete that side quest. That's how it feels to me, kinda. We go to some village, it's our next step on the journey to Oriole, and in that village it turns out that the villagers have trouble with their only getting poisoned, and we need to figure out what poisoned it, and we need to save those people. Our next step is going through an old abandoned bastion, and it turns out that that bastion has been overtaken by bandits, and we need to deal with that. Our next step is visiting the port town of Uberschmassen or whatever. I don't know German words, but probably named in German. And in that place, the Lord is overtaxing the people, so we need to save the people from overtaxation. Right? Stuff like that, and eventually, we finally get to Oriole. Or maybe not. Maybe we don't even get there. Maybe it's just a fucking One Piece journey that just continues, and we never actually get to Oriole. And if we do get to Oriole, even if we do, well, we have to go back. We have to go back, and of course, on our way back, well, the port city no longer has an issue with the Lord overtaxing them, but now there's a mysterious cult that started working in the sewers, and we need to defeat that cult because they've been kidnapping the townspeople, and so on and so forth until we come back, and it turns out Eisen is dead. Hopefully not, but I wouldn't put it past this show. Really wouldn't put it past it. Actually, shit. Frieren gets to Oriole. Frieren and Fern, they meet Himmel, they meet Heiter, and then Eisen walks up from behind them. Oh shit. I mean, them achieving Oriole is probably not going to be shown in this show. It's 28 episodes, but I don't think it's quite enough. but it's a theory for the source material. Frieren reaches Oriole meets Heisen. Sure, Heisen. I mixed Heiter and Eisen. Meets Heiter. Himmel. And Eisen appears. Turns out he also died. I'm really having trouble with the names in this show, with the character names, because they are all so similar, like Frieren, Fern, Flamme. All of them start with F. Himmel, Heiter, Eisen. Himmel, Heiter start with H. Heiter, Eisen have similar flow to them. I would have preferred Japanese names, honestly. Stark is the one name I'm not gonna have any trouble with, I don't think, because I don't see any other character named with S. So I guess he's gonna be the chosen one. What else about this episode that I would like to say? I think that's it. Does anything more need to be said? I said everything during the discussion segment. I'd like to think, at least. Good episode. I like where it's going. It really took no time at all. I really felt like no time at all has passed. By the end of this episode, I really thought we are like 15 minutes in or 10 minutes in. But no, it was the end already. Thankfully, I'm behind with Frieren, so should any cliffhangers happen, I have the benefit of being able to watch like 2 episodes at once. I might make use of this benefit even today. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna watch episode 6. Probably not, though. We'll see. We'll see about that. I liked episode 5. That much is for certain. What did you guys think about it, though? What did you think about this episode, my reaction, my theory, stuff like that? Tell me all about it in the comments down below. Like this video if you liked it. Dislike it. No spoilers, right? Most importantly, no spoilers. Please, I beg of you. You can talk spoilers on my Discord. Here, invite is also in the description. There's a Frieren channel. You can talk about spoilers there. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Frieren, but also Helk, Tate no Yusha Season 3, Magia Record, Shangri-La Frontier, and plenty of other shows coming in the future. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me monetarily on YouTube itself via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that, everything also below. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB without the Nethergroup Survivors, Zay Rainer, Shoshua Commander, Fussel, David, Dr. Watt, Marsh, Gala, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to cleave a ravine with an axe.